So when I quit the ketogenic diet and stopped eating animal products altogether, my body did completely change. My senses changed, my taste buds changed, everything changed when I quit the ketogenic diet. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is my second YouTube channel. I do have a main YouTube channel where I talk about weight loss in general, but this channel is specifically dedicated to veganism, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I quit the ketogenic diet. On my main channel, I do make a lot of keto what I eat in a days, and I still support this way of eating just because it was the way that I lost weight, and I think it is perfect for beginners. However, I did transition into being a vegan, and I want to talk about why I did that and what happened when I did that. I lost 100 pounds on the regular ketogenic diet, and I did this in only 4 months. That's basically my story. And the keto diet really allowed me to lose weight quickly, yes, but it also helped me correct some of the health issues I was having. Now, I recommend the ketogenic diet for anyone if you're a beginner trying to lose weight, or if you have really bad health issues. I had PCOS symptoms, so going on keto was honestly like a miracle for me. However, after I lost my weight, I wasn't really having these health issues, or they weren't as prevalent as they were when I was overweight. So eating meat and dairy wasn't just doing it for me. I needed to change what I was doing. I know there's a lot of confusion as to why I talk about regular eating on my main channel and why I talk about veganism here. Well, it is because I support both ways of eating. However, my personal choice is to be a vegan now, just because I do not like eating meat and dairy. I was eating it so much and it did help me lose weight, but I don't really think the ketogenic diet is sustainable. I think it is perfect for understanding discipline and how to lose weight, but I don't think it is good to do it for years and years and years, and that's basically what I was trying to do at the time. And I tried to become vegetarian. I tried to just go back to eating regular carbs, and before I went on the keto diet, I did have a really bad problem with bloating and water retention because of PCOS, so I didn't want to eat regular meat and dairy anymore. I was still trying to lose weight at the time. I had 30 pounds more to lose. So instead of being a vegetarian or just eating regularly and trying to do that, from coming off such a restrictive diet, such as eating no carbs and no sugar, I just decided to be a vegan on the ketogenic diet. That was really my only option because I wanted to lose weight, but I did still have a problem, and I was still a little bit overweight. Even though I am 5'7", at the time I was 180 pounds, and just for my height, that is just a little bit overweight, like 15 pounds overweight. So I decided to go on the vegan ketogenic diet, and on this diet I basically allowed myself to have a little bit of carbs, but very, very little. So I would eat things like potatoes, I would eat things like brown rice and beans, but in a very minimal amount, and I would still intermittent fast every single day, and most likely I would only have about 2 meals a day, probably one time in the evening and one time in the morning, and that was it. I would never eat at night, and this is the way that I lost 30 pounds, of course, along with my exercise routine. So when I was on the ketogenic diet as a vegan, basically I didn't eat any dairy, I didn't have any fruit, I had low amounts of carbs. I did allow myself to have more carbs than on the regular ketogenic diet, just because I am mostly eating non-starchy vegetables and things like that, so I had to get my calories in and make sure I had proper macronutrients. Keep in mind, I was also intermittent fasting. For me personally, this is where I started breaking away from the ketogenic diet and incorporating carbs back into my routine, but this is also how I did it slowly without regaining any of my weight back. So basically I just stuck to low calorie foods and no more than 100 net carbs a day. When I did eat bread, it was like Ezekiel bread, and of course I absolutely stayed away from sugar. One day I was carrying carrying something very, very heavy, and I fell on my knees and I tore my hamstring this way. I didn't tear it because of improper gym exercises or working out too hard. I actually fell and then tore them. It was a very, very painful injury, and I had to repair my hamstrings, and to do that I did have to go off of the ketogenic diet. After I tore both of my hamstrings, I decided to eat high protein as a vegan. However, that wasn't the only reason why I stopped the ketogenic diet. First, I'm going to explain what happened to me in my body after I incorporated carbs back into my daily routine, and then I'm going to talk about what specifically happened to me and my body right after I quit the ketogenic diet but transitioned into being a vegan and stopped eating meat and dairy products completely. When I quit the regular ketogenic diet and I started being a vegan on the ketogenic diet, it did not really affect my body that much, and I honestly think it's because of the foods I was eating. So I was still following the rules of the ketogenic diet. I wasn't eating a lot of carbs. I swear I was not eating probably more than 70 net carbs a day. You have to intake all the fiber that you're eating too. So really, I wasn't eating a lot. On top of that, I was still eating in a calorie deficit. And I believe that if I was eating regular foods coming off of the regular ketogenic diet, then I would have had a lot more impact to my body, just because I would be eating sugar and I would be eating high carbs and I would be eating dairy and meat. But when I started eating vegan keto and started slowly incorporating carbs, then I didn't really have any issues. And I honestly think it was because even though I was eating some carbs again, I transitioned into being a vegan, so I wasn't eating those highly inflammatory foods that would usually cause problems. I know a lot of people are scared to go on the ketogenic diet because they think that they're going to regain all of the weight back automatically, but sometimes that doesn't happen. That didn't happen for me actually. Throughout my whole entire weight loss journeys, I never gained any weight back until this past couple months, just because I deliberately and intentionally did that for other reasons. I did have a little bit of bloating, but I was still intermittent fasting every single day, so I didn't have a lot of problems. Actually, incorporating carbs back into my diet helped me with my performance because I was doing high intensity workouts every single day. I was hiking, I was lifting, so it actually helped me fuel my workouts. I think if you decide to quit the ketogenic diet, it is perfectly fine. However, you need to be mindful of what you eat afterward. I think if I quit keto and then I went and indulged in a bunch of carbs and sugar, even if I was a vegan, I would have gained all of the weight back, but I didn't have any weight regain. I actually was able to lose weight eating differently. Now I'm gonna get into what exactly happened when I quit the keto diet but transitioned into being a vegan and started eating regular foods. So when I quit the ketogenic diet and stopped eating animal products altogether, my body did completely change. My senses changed, my taste buds changed, everything changed when I quit the ketogenic diet. I cannot be around meat. I mean, I do cook meat in my YouTube videos, and I only do that to help you guys, just so you guys can see exactly what I ate in a day on keto. But whenever I cook meat, or whenever it is raw, like in front of me, it smells really, really bad to me. It smells like flesh. It just does not smell good. Before, when I used to eat meat, I couldn't smell that at all. I know if you go into like a grocery store or something and you're picking out meat, you can probably smell it. But for me, like right before I would cook meat, when I was eating regular, I could not smell it. And when I cooked it up on a grill or something, it smelled really good to me. And now when I go to cook meat, when I go to prepare it, it smells absolutely disgusting to me. I really do not like cooking meat at all. I think I tasted meat probably once accidentally for mistaking it for plant-based meat. Like if I'm with my family and they have it and I accidentally ate it, I can instantly tell when something is regular meat versus when it is not regular meat, and it does not taste good to me. It's not something that I miss at all. It isn't something that, you know, I wish I could go back to eating Again, I just absolutely am turned off by the thought of consuming any type of meat. And this goes for eggs, this goes for bacon, this goes for any type of meat product. Another thing that happened with my body is what happens when I consume dairy products or milk. So milk is a little bit easier for me to kind of be around. I still can smell it very, very distinctly whenever I'm around it. However, sometimes, only sometimes, I do incorporate milk products into whatever I'm eating. So as I mentioned before, I do like whey. I actually really like the taste of whey, and I like whey protein, or I eat milk protein, but that is the only time I ever eat any type of dairy products. If I eat regular chocolate chip cookies, muffins, anything that has milk and eggs and butter in it, it just doesn't feel and taste the same as it did before. I've been a vegan for over a year now, actually a year and a half, and I can distinctly pick out when something has milk in it and when it doesn't. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like my body is telling me like I shouldn't be eating this. Usually when I eat dairy products, I do have stomach bloating a lot of the time. And the only thing that I think is wild to me is that I do crave milk when I'm on my menstrual cycle. Like, I will crave ice cream, or I will usually crave whey when I am menstruating, but other than that, I don't have any desire to drink or have any milk. On top of that, milk has sugar in it, and it has added hormones, and I don't know, I just don't like the taste of it anymore. Like, some people can literally sit there and drink like a glass of milk or a glass of chocolate milk, but for me, it's like if I drink it, I'll have that leftover milky smell, taste in my mouth, and I just don't like it. Another thing that happened to my body when I became a vegan and quit the ketogenic diet is I do not get sick as often as I used to when I was eating regular foods. Now, dairy products do allow you to produce more mucus. I have really bad allergies. I am allergic to some animals. I am allergic to eyelash glue. I'm allergic to makeup products, which is ironic because I wear makeup all of the time, but it's the truth. And when I was eating regular products, these allergies would kick up a lot more than they do now. I honestly believe that my immune system improved by eating vegan foods. My allergies aren't as prevalent. Literally every single day when I was younger and I used to wear makeup and eat regular foods and dairy products, I used to go to Starbucks all of the time. My eyes would water in the morning, my nose would run in the morning, and now I really don't have that happen to me unless I'm having an allergic reaction. The only time I get sick now being a vegan is when I don't eat enough, and of course just naturally if I am around something that will kick up my allergies or something that will lower my immune system, like dust, bacteria, or if it's like really cold outside, you know, just scientific things that will allow you to get sick naturally. That's the only time I do, but that's mainly my fault just because I have to track what I'm eating so I don't undernourish myself, and so I make sure my immune system is strong because it is a lot harder to be vegan. You have to track what you're eating. You feel fuller with the foods that you're eating rather than eating regular foods because vegan foods aren't as processed and they have a lot of fiber and nutrients, and they give you this phantom feeling of feeling full. That's a mouthful. Another thing that happened to my body when I transitioned into being a vegan is I got a regular menstrual cycle. Now, the ketogenic diet helped me regulate my PCOS symptoms because of the no carbs, the hormonal balancing, things like that. But when I became a vegan, that is where my menstrual cycle became regular. I never had a regular period before. I'm not gonna get into the specific details about it, but I never had a regular period before. Let's just say that. And now I have my menstrual cycle every month on the same exact date or the same exact week of the month, and that has been really helpful for me. On top of that, I used to have really bad menstrual cycle cramps, and I don't have that anymore. I use my menstrual cycles as some type of cheat day. Like, I'll allow myself to have whey or maybe maybe some low carb ice cream or something like that, and that allows me to balance my hormones out. It's almost like I need to give my body extra hormones just because my hormones are imbalanced during that period of the month. But whenever I am menstruating and I'm having cramps, literally all I have to do is eat spinach, things that have a lot of iron. My protein shake actually has a lot of iron in it, and instead of taking supplements or actually medication, I don't have to take any type of medication anymore. Within probably like 2 hours, my cramps will die down a lot. And another thing that happened to my body when I went vegan is I don't have to take any more medication for anything. The only type of medication I have to take is my inhaler, just because I do have really bad asthma. But other than that, I don't take any ibuprofen for pain. I naturally heal it. I don't have to take anything at all anymore. I just do it all naturally, and that is with the power of food, which is really, really great. Another thing that happened to my body when I went vegan and stopped eating regular foods after quitting the ketogenic diet is less bloating. So I don't really have a lot of bloating that goes on within my body. Usually you have bloating because of excess water retention. There are a lot of reasons why you can become bloated: sugar, excess carbs, processed food, but I don't really eat those things. I like to eat raw food, or if I don't eat raw food, it's like rice, cauliflower, it's veggie patties. There's still things that are lower carb, and I do eat some carbs, but I usually eat those in the morning, and this helps me with bloating. I also believe I have less bloating because I am eating a lot of fiber. Fiber helps you with easier digestion. It will allow you to feel more satiated, so you are naturally eating less, and eating fiber also helps me with intermittent fasting every single day. The next thing that happened to my body when I quit eating regular foods and became a vegan is I just feel physically better. I don't really know how to explain it, but when you eat meat, you feel kind of slowed down. Just think of it like when you eat any type of meat or dairy products or any type of food that is really hard to digest, you feel immediately tired afterward. When I eat food, I feel light and I never feel tired unless it's something that has high amounts of sugar or high amounts of carbs, but I have been learning to stay away from those things. I don't feel really sluggish, and as I mentioned, I don't get very sick often. I'm able to exercise and perform at a higher rate just because I don't have these foods slowing me down. Meat does take a very long time to digest. It takes hours and hours and hours for meat to process in your system, and it can take a lot of your energy. This is why I only recommend keto if you aren't eating any sugar, because you could really overwork your body. Another thing that happened to me when I quit the ketogenic diet and turned into a vegan is my skin got significantly better. So I've noticed when I eat dairy products specifically, it really does cause my skin to break out. If I consume dairy products with sugar, so like ice cream or anything that is creamy and has a lot of sugar, my skin will just break out, and I know automatically it is because of the dairy. Like I said, dairy does create mucus. It is inflammatory to your body, and of course, someone who has a lot of allergies, that is probably something I should stay away from. So without eating dairy products, my skin has cleared up significantly. Like, my skin has never ever been this good. When I was in high school and when I was a young adult, I used to break out all of the time, like on my cheeks. Vegan foods also allow you to have moisture within your skin because the vegetables and the fruits that you are eating have a lot of water, so it allows you to get your water intake up naturally as well. So that is super beneficial for me. Last but not least, the final thing that happened to my body when I quit the ketogenic diet and transitioned into being a vegan is the recovery of anything that I go through. So if I get sick or whatever happens to me, I can instantly get better by drinking natural remedies. So basically ginger, any type of spice, any type of vitamins that you can get from fruits like oranges, things like that. And if I make sure I do not mix it with anything else, so I wouldn't take like a turmeric or a ginger drink and then mix it with sugar. Making sure I stick to whole natural food. Anything that I have, it instantly gets fixed and cleared up. Throughout this vegan journey, I have made some mistakes just because of lack of education and understanding how to get your nutrients throughout the day and how to eat properly. Vegan foods, natural foods have our exact chemical makeup, and they are made to nourish us, and they can really help you. So that's why I am a big advocate for vegan eating. However, I still think if you're a beginner, you can go on the ketogenic diet if veganism is not something you are interested in. I do have a vegan weight loss course and a meal plan that I just put out. I am going to put it in the description down below for you guys if you are interested in knowing exactly what to eat and how to basically fuel your body with vegan foods the proper way. This meal plan is high protein. I also have a keto meal plan as well for those of you who are interested in going vegan but want to lose weight the regular way. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel. We have 80,000 subscribers over there, and I am so happy that we are all going on this journey together with understanding our bodies and weight loss goals. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.